Welcome to the Podnas with Phace, Pat, and Tiz.
Next topic I want to cover tonight is a personal theory of my own I've
Okay.
developed over the past couple years. It's called the SMEL theory, and it's not SMELL like
I
smell.
was
It's
thinking
S.
olfactory.
It's capital S, capital M, capital EL. That's it. It stands for, it's the acronym. It stands for self motivation, self elevation, self liberation.
Okay.
So it's like a process. The whole theory is like a process. It starts off with self, and in order to start with self, you have to, how can I say it? Identify the power of self and realize what you can do if you understand yourself. Most people would depend on their motivation to come from outside sources and don't really tap into their inside source and get up off their ass and do it themselves. That's the first step in getting yourself motivated is getting up and actually getting to it. Too many times people got dreams and I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. Take this podcast, prime example. It won't long for we said we wish we could do this before we got up off our ass and did it.
Yeah.
We were our own motivation. It didn't take nobody else to, hey, y'all three, come on, y'all three. No, we three got together with an idea. We three put it together. We got to pull our feet. This is the first step. This is self motivation. You feel me? Self motivation is actually putting the thought into the physical, getting it moving. You may not be at that end point yet, but you got to get started. That's a self motivation. That leads to self elevation. Self elevation, that's your next level. That's getting yourself out of the current situation you're in. And if you take this podcast, for example, once you get to the monetization level on anything we're doing, that will be the next level because that would initially get us out of the phase that we're currently in. Understand? So self elevation. Also, with self elevation, it takes account of once again back to personal self, um, mentally, emotionally, and physically taking yourself to the next level, elevating, getting yourself out of your personal comfort zones, um, tapping into other ideals or not other ideas, I could say maturing mentally. That would be your self elevation point. Now, self liberation, that's the end goal. You want to free yourself from the ties that bind you. Those ties that bind you will be socially, anything holding you to any constructs that you feel that you have to stay into or have to fit into, any boxes you feel like you may have been forced into. Self liberation is a total and utter admiration of self. You've motivated yourself to get out of the situation you're in, to free yourself from everything. Motivation, elevation, liberation. Smell theory.
I smell you. I smell you. I smell it with the rockets cooking. Um,
Yes.
I guess I would just say I like what you're putting down there. You done definitely activated your guru chakras or whatever, and went real Dalai Lama on us here. I did not expect that from when you first said that you wanted to talk about the smell theory. I had a whole nother train of thought going on that. So this kind of took me off guard. I would say though, you need to bottle this up and package it, and if
Oh
you
yeah,
can put
man.
an
Smell
actual
theory.
process to how to do each one of those steps, you own to some here on the self-help game. Like that's what everybody does need, like to be motivated to elevate themselves out of whatever situation they're in, and then to liberate themselves to be their best self. So yeah, I smell it.
Exactly.
Smells good.
Exactly. Because you
Smells
have to
good.
realize people always depend on, most time people look for motivation from others. Even in relationships, we look at, well, you didn't motivate me. You didn't motivate me. But how many times do we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I didn't motivate myself. I didn't motivate me. So before we can look at somebody else and say, I need you to motivate me, we have to look at ourselves and like, I need you to motivate me. Self motivate yourself. You feel me? Can't nobody else help you if you don't want to be helped. And that's the main thing. If you can't say that you want to do it and you willing to take that first step, nothing nobody else says to try to motivate you will. So there will be no elevation to no other levels. There will be no liberation because you don't aspire to be another other point but that. So when it comes to people who are destitute, people are homeless, I've been homeless. I'm not no more
Facts.
because I refuse to be in that situation. So in that instance, I was liberated. I went through the situation where I had to motivate myself to become better, elevate myself out of those situations, and liberated myself from that. So no, I'm no longer homeless. I'm doing a lot better than that, a lot better than I was doing. To the instance that sometimes when I do see those less fortunate, I do give, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna get at everybody because I ain't no stupid man. I ain't no sucker. He ain't gonna fool me twice. I've already been tricked once or twice. I just want to tell this story before I let y'all speak too. Once upon a time when we was living in Hampton, Pat, you was this at the Buddy House. Everybody remember the Buddy House. So living in Hampton, right off Mallory. Every day we get off work, right around. I say we get home right around 7 p.m. It's always this handicapped guy. He's in a wheelchair. He's an amputee and he got a dog with him. He's on the end of the he's on the end of the off ramp. He always got a sign.
I remember. Yeah.
For dog. Me tuna for dog. Me tuna for dog. I'm like, you know what? The VA right down the street. I get it. He probably ain't got benefits. Bet. Let me give him something. So I pulled up one day. I gave him $5. Went on by my business. Why did I come downstairs the next morning and realize this nigga lives downstairs in the same apartment I live in? Why am I giving you money? Fool me once, won't fool me twice.
Wow.
I remember you said that shit to me.
Yo, that reminds me of Don't Be a Menace when the dude was begging for money and then he takes off the joint and he got like a Benz. Like, yo, that's crazy.
Yo,
what?
Yo, and he won't live by himself. It was him, his wife, and his son. His son was retired military, so he had benefits. He just liked doing that shit.
Oh, damn.
In another mind state, in another reality, somebody else might have said something else. You know? But it was no need. Chalk it up to a loss. That's the way most adults should see it nowadays. It means just chalk it up to a loss. Ain't no need for me to take it to the next level because that next level would have led me into something I didn't want to be in. So I made the right decision at the time. Just like I chalk it as loss, life lesson, won't fool me again.
Yeah.
So,
it's just sad because somebody like that will make it bad for the other ones because it might be somebody that's really do need that help and now somebody passed them over because they scared to get burned again, that type of thing.
Exactly. That's why I do like a 2 to 3 ratio. Every 2 people I see, I skip 3 and then I give to 2. I skip 3 to get to 2. So I do like a 2 to 3 ratio. So I make sure if I'm getting food, they didn't get me every time, you know. So I try to help because somebody helped me out at one point in time. I remember one point in time. You feel me? I'm gonna get real with you. I'm gonna see if you remember this part, little bro. I remember when we were smoking cigarette butts that were on our cigarette butts.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember
we couldn't even afford a Lucy.
You feel me? Remember the struggle, bro? We couldn't even
get
afford
50 cents together to get a Lucy. Hell yeah.
But look at us now.
Hell yeah.
So,
can't do that shit in COVID.
No, that's big. That's big though.
Can't do that shit with COVID, B.
No, hell no, nigga. That'd be your last cigarette. You die. For real. Fuck lung cancer. Your ass died at vid. That vid getting people, boy. It's undefeated right now.
Oh, yeah, man.
I like that, though. SMEL Theory.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the self-motivation thing is real because 2 years ago I started drawing that book or whatever, and it's just a simple motivation of saying, you know what, I'm going to do a page after I get off work. Like as soon as I get off work while I'm hyped up, I'm going to do a page. And it is done. Now I'm just going through the coloring process and everything, try to do everything right so I can have it right, pretty much. But
you heard it first here. You heard it first here, people. SMEL Theory. So if you hear anybody else say anything else about SMEL Theory, you know they stole it from Phace.
Right on.
We're getting published.
What's going on, everybody? This is Phace with the new weekly installments of the SMEL Theory and different factors that it contribute to and help compile it. First thing is a self-awareness. Now, every day I hear different people complain about being victims of this or being victims of that, but even in the essence of being a victim, you have to have self-awareness because a lot of people who claim to be victims really aren't. What part do you have in as far as you being a victim? Any situation, there's 2 parties. There can't be an argument or a confrontation without 2 parties. You have the aggressor, then you have the victim. Why were you the victim? Were you somewhere you didn't need to be in? Were you in a situation you did not need to be involved in? Were you somewhere at a certain part of time at night that you knew you shouldn't be in? Victim, you play a part in being the victim. Now, aggressor, of course, we understand the aggressor. They are the aggressor. They control the situation. They have a good understanding of themselves being the aggressor. But even then in themselves, they need to understand, why are they the aggressor? Why are they doing what they're doing? Have they lost all hope of any other way? Or is it something else? In addition to that, being self-aware is the most important thing a person can hold to themselves. You have to have an understanding, an ideal of who you are, what you're capable of, before you can even start motivating yourself. If you can't jump 10 feet, ain't nothing you can motivate yourself to jump 10 feet. You could train and do everything, but you have to be aware of your personal capabilities before you can start motivating yourself to go somewhere else. That's not saying limit yourself, but that is saying have a better ideal of what you're capable of. I know I'll never be in the NFL. I'm 5'9", 150 pounds. That's never going to happen. So I have a better idea of myself and what I'm compared and able to do. So that's what I want everybody to do this week. Become more self-aware. Look at yourself in the mirror and actually ask yourself the honest questions. What do I want? When do I want it? How can I achieve it? What things am I doing to stop myself from attaining my goals? Because too many times we always say this man or this person, or they ain't. Who's the they? No one can ever put a name to the they. The main person stopping us all from doing what we want to do in life is ourselves. Take a look in the mirror. Self-awareness is what we're doing this week. What's going on, everybody? This is Phace, 1/3 of Podnas. Is coming to thank everyone once again for participating, watching all of our content, shopping at our stores, subscribing, and liking and sharing all videos. That comes from myself, Phace, Tiz, and Pat, all three of the partners. We collectively thank you guys for everything you've done. We continue to put out content once or twice a week. We have a couple new shows coming up in this new year. Y'all see a couple things from us. We're also going to start going live with our recordings. As far as the store, you should see some new things coming up. We have decorative pillows as well as wall art coming out on both stores. Once again, it's teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Also, teesprings.com/stores/Phace-co-2. Those are both of our stores we have available. I will be posting intravenously throughout the weeks, making new content about the SMEL Theory as well. Everybody stay tuned as we come into this new year. Self-motivation and liberation and elevation will be definitely key to get you where you got to go this year. We all came out of 2020 on some hustle hard grind, and we all lost a lot of people. This wasn't a good year for a lot of people, but for those who was a good year for, continue it on. This was not a good year for you. Strive to get better. Don't let the things that happen negative to you hold you down. You got to stay optimistic. Pessimism is the key to defeat. Don't be pessimistic. Stay optimistic. Stay motivating yourself. Stay documenting your goals. Stay seeing what motivates you and it helps you stay in that zone. Once again, your motivation comes from you. If you allow yourself to stop motivating yourself, there ain't nothing nobody else can do for you. It's nothing you can't help no one else either. You got to stay focused. Please, if you learn nothing else from Phace, self is the start of everything. Love yourself, respect yourself, motivate yourself. Those are the key aspects of starting anything going forward.
And clean pajamas.
My next, to move on to my next topic, man. Last week I brought up the SMEL Theory and I broke down the different elements of it and what it's comprised of. So this week I figure I go just a little bit further into like the beginning of the SMEL Theory and like the motivation part, or the self-motivation part, I should say. And
I love it.
the and how that comes after the self-awareness. Now,
Preach to us,
the
Guru
motivation
Phace.
now. Oh, I'm gonna try that. The self-awareness that comes with, like I said, recognizing you and all your flaws and just understanding them. So, like a lot of times we can't admit the flaws we have. When somebody tries to tell us the truth, they say the truth hurts. But most people don't accept that. They get mad, walk away, start an argument, whatever, when someone is telling you the God honest truth about yourself, and you can't accept it. You gotta take that long, hard look in the mirror and be aware of your flaws and accept it. If you're a liar, admit that, damn, I am a liar. Shit, like, damn, I'm a thief. I still a lie, and I didn't know it. I'm a thief, damn. Even like admit who you are to yourself. So stop being in denial to yourself. Self denial is the worst thing. You can't move forward in life doing anything positive being in self denial. You can't achieve your best self not admitting to yourself who you are. You have no understanding. The next part before you motivate yourself is knowing where you stand with yourself. It's a lot of people always taught you got to make others happy, make sure that everyone's happy around you. But in order to do that correctly, you must be happy first. You must always attain that you come first to you. So you make a list. Make a list of 10 things. Then cut that list down to 5 things. And cut that list down to 3 things. Cut that list down to 2 things and down to 1. If at the end that one thing is not yourself, reevaluate your priorities. You got to move forward, putting yourself first. Because you can't do nothing for nobody else if you can't hold yourself down. You can't help anybody else pay their bills if you can't pay your bills. Then I can't help you build yourself up. I can't help you build yourself up if I'm always feeling down by myself. What positive words can I give you if I'm always feeling down on myself? Put yourself first so you can help others be up. Now, the motivation part. Once you are aware of yourself, motivating yourself to get to the next level. You feel me? Motivation comes in as far as, let's see it. Once again, you can take it to making a list. Short, attainable goals. Know what you want to do. Focus in on that. Once you know what you want to do, it's easy to figure out how you want to do it. But once you run around rampant, you have no idea, have no focus. What are you focused on? You have none. So you everywhere. You can't move forward because you're spread so thin. Once you can dial down and focus in on that one thing you want or 1 or 2 things you want and put that focus in on it, you can motivate yourself to the next steps. It's all about short, attainable goals. When you plot and plan and you're too long and you don't know the steps in between, you often fall short. Set your goals. You can have your 10-year plan. You can have your 20-year plan, but make sure you have a 2-year plan or a 1-year plan in between those long plans so you can still stay on goal for those main goals. You always want to make sure you're self-checking yourself. Make sure you're keeping yourself on track. It's not no one else's responsibility to maintain you and you being up. Like I said before, too many times we put the strain on our loved ones and the strain on our friends that, man, y'all need to hold me up, man. I need y'all to push me forward when I'm like this. At first, man, you gotta have the strength to hold yourself up. I can't help it. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. If you ain't willing to help yourself, I can't help you. You feel me?
Yeah.
We've all had times where we've been in a dark place and we didn't want no help. So regardless of what positivity came our way, we closed off to it. It wasn't until we were willing to open up to that positivity that we were able to accept it and move forward. You got to be willing to, once again, know who you are, accept what you are, know what you want to do, and then figure out how you want to do it. Get that done. Now you motivated. Once you're motivated, we can take it to the second level, self-elevation. But that's next week.
I love it.
Topic, man. Full of progression and getting rid of toxic behaviors and toxic people in your life.
Okay.
I've been having recent conversations with a lot of people close to me who've been going through personal situations, and just talking to them gives me more insight on myself. You feel me? Like, so when I move forward, I got to get rid of my own personal toxic behaviors. And as I always talk about the SMEL Theory when we come on here, it's not only advice for everybody else, but it's advice for myself too. So I'm always speaking to y'all through personal experiences of what I'm personally telling myself every day and what I'm personally formulating for myself. So that's what I'm telling y'all, and that's what I'm not telling y'all to have to follow, but just something that it might help, you might not, but hey, this is what I'm doing. So in my forward progression, I'm just trying to become better. Like I always say, be a better whatever every day. You feel me? Whatever you may be that every day. If you a preacher, be a better preacher every day. Focus more on your sermon, get more into your material. Just focus more on your congregation. If you're a policeman, be a better policeman. Treat everybody equally. Just go out there and do your correct job. Don't have any bias. If you're a fireman, get your ass up the ladder faster. Put the fire out. I mean, like,
the ladder faster.
toxic behaviors.
jealousy, envy, you feel me, like toxic behaviors like that breed itself in any type of environment, any type of relationship, not only romantic relationships, friendships, business environments, everything. Those are some toxic behaviors that can't, I mean, let them go. You can't go forward with anybody. Like if you continue to have those behaviors in you, you can't truly have no forward progression truly, because you always find yourself back in those situations with those same elements popping right
That's big
back up on
facts.
you. Those jealousy, those envies you might have, those insecurities you may have, let them go. Be aware of what you have going on with you so you can uh, get rid of them. Or if you choose to continue on as a toxic motherfucker, just know how you are. Don't be
Or if you
shocked when you get the
continue on
treatment
as
that
a
you get.
toxic motherfucker.
So,
Hashtag
I mean,
toxic.
hey, I
Right.
mean, I know people personally. I mean, yeah, I mean, we all know people personally who know they're the asshole. You feel me? And
Yeah.
that's the role they want to have. That's the role they are. That's the people they are.
Yeah.
They accept that. They accept they have their toxic behavior. Cool. You accept the consequence of no one wanting to be around your ass. So, I mean, shit.
That's real as shit.
It is what it is. I mean, me personally, the toxic behaviors I've had in my past, I've been a habitual liar. I've had to change that through whatever counseling I've had to go through to get to the point where I see where that gets you nowhere. You feel me? Like the truth is the only thing that's gonna set your ass free. And
Yeah.
I've always said that if anybody ever listened to me just growing up, I've always hated liars. But truth is, I was hating myself. I was a liar. So I had to realize that about myself, that's why I was hating everybody else that was lying so much, because I was lying. So
Yeah.
self-realization, you feel me, part of accepting who I am so I can move to that second level. But I speak about motivation a lot, and this comes back to motivation, you feel me, like forward progression. Motivate yourself to keep going forward. And I think all three of us have done that at some point of our lives. You feel like, I don't know if y'all want to
Yeah.
speak on anything in your life that y'all personally motivate yourselves through, or y'all find yourselves now motivating yourself through to get to that next level of elevation. But me personally, it's just striving every day to be a better husband, better father, and like I say,
Mm-hmm.
just a better man all around. And that's my three levels right now on my three SMEL theories. I'm trying to go to that level. Some of them I have already elevated. I'm trying to reach that liberation phase on some of them. As we come to this new year, I will be speaking on elevation going forward. Motivation, I've
Mm-hmm.
covered that enough. I feel people have gotten enough concept as far as how to get motivated, how to start, how to realize what needs to be done as far as their own personal motivations. So
Right.
next time is elevation. As far as y'all got anything to say about anything y'all personally going through more as far as motivation wise?
Yeah, I mean, for me, going just like, I mean, I can look through a million times in my life where like I've just been at really bad lows, you know what I mean? And y'all have pretty much been there through a lot of them, you know what I mean? So yeah, it took motivation to get out of the rut of being comfortable, you know what I'm saying, hopping from crib to crib, and then actually say, you know what, let me go ahead and just get stable. Just the mental change of like, all right, hustling, doing this, like party all night, wake up early in the morning, do it all over again. Like it was just getting like ridiculous. So like I think the motivation to leave that lifestyle and just start going legit and just like, I'm going to find just a regular way to make this work and use my talents in a way that's not going to get me in trouble. You know what I mean? So I think that was the first way. And then even going from that, when I moved down here to Georgia, you know what I mean, having to go from switch the mind state of like being comfortable and being like, okay, yeah, I can get a job like I had back in Virginia that pays me okay, and I'll be okay. But is that what I want long term? So even making that switch to say, no, I'm gonna go back to school, I'm gonna get on my hustle like that, and make sure I got some credentials so I can just open few more doors, get my name out there a little more. So I think that was another way. And then even this year, like getting tired of like, I've been thinking about doing this, like I told y'all, you know what I mean, for like a good 10 years, it's been rolling around in my head. Like, I really want to do something like that. I want to get out there and just talk to people for a living. Like, I want to have my voice heard. I want to make videos about the things that interest me and that I want people to know my perspective on. So like the fact that this year I got motivated to say, you know what, man, bump saying let's do it. And the fact that we're here right now having this conversation on episode 8, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's motivation too, just saying that like going from a stage of what if to like, fuck what if, let's make it. This is what if, because we're gonna make it happen so we can see what if. You know what I mean? I think that's the motivation right there for my year. Like, that's the biggest thing. And I think I'm almost at the liberation because like we've elevated, we've already started to reinvest in our craft. We've already started to, you know what I'm saying, like think of new ways to express ourselves and express our thoughts and opinions and our creativity. So like, I think that's the only thing left is to like get to the point where we're so liberated, like this is it. You know what I mean? Like this is what we do permanently. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say those are like my different little phases of like where I had to get motivated, elevated, and then finally, you know what I'm saying, liberated. But it all started, I think, with like you always say, like with that just acknowledging yourself and just acknowledging like, hey, this is a problem. This is something that is going on. Like the capital S, you know, that's the self part. You know what I mean? Like if you don't start there and realize that like, hey, I can change this and I need to change this, or I need to make a step, or I need to, you know what I'm saying, actually make a shift, then you never even get to that point of where you could be motivated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think with me, when I start having that feeling where I'm overthinking at night, not getting sleep, trying to figure out what my next move is, or if I feel like I'm doing, sometimes I get into a mode of doing, all right, I'm not doing no crazy shit in the streets. I'm just doing my little simple job. I'm not bothering nobody, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm not, but even with that, you know, mentality, you can be content in just mediocre situations.
Yeah.
In general. And it's just a matter of like, after a while, if my stomach start touching, if I'm getting sleepless nights and this, that, and the third, you get to a point where, nah, this is not how I'm supposed to feel. I'm not supposed to feel like this. There's like, for one thing my mother told me when I was younger is you didn't ask to be here. You know, you just here. So since I didn't ask to be here, I might as well make the best of it while I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, and get whatever I can out of life that I can. And then it's just sometimes I gotta watch myself and watch reality and make sure my goals are realistic. Know myself and know that, all right, you could be coming short here, you know. Let's do a realistic goal and just work on getting to that goal so we can get to the next one.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it was y'all, man. I ain't even like, there's a lot of times y'all kicked my ass, and that pretty much got me straight. After kicking my ass, yeah, I'm all right. All right,
We love
Tony.
you too, man. But you know what? I want to flip a little bit of your perspective, like where you said your mom said like, what was it? You didn't ask to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I would put it in the perspective of, yeah, you didn't ask to be here because the universe decided to put your particular set of atoms and molecules and your particular combination of cells together to make you, as opposed to what you could have been, as opposed to what you might have been. You are you for a reason. So like, if you know that, then you owe it to the universe that put you together like that to go and find, well, what am I here for then? Like, you put me here for a reason. What am I here for then? What is that purpose that I'm supposed to be serving? So like, that's your mission in life to me. Like,
I'll be talking.
It's
I'll be
like
talking
motivate.
shit.
It's like starting with that self-actualization. Like what it does is it pushes you to like really find like who you are. And then once you see that, it's easier to get motivated because now you got that purpose that's long lasting, like not something that's gonna fleet or go away within 5 years. Like it's something like if you always chasing, hey, I'm gonna find what I am here for. Along the way, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be so invested in it, you're gonna be investing time and resources into things that improve you as a person. And if you are improving as a person, then the things around you are going to improve by proxy.
Default.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm a more courteous person, if I'm more aware, if I'm more if I'm more even socially conscious as far as like what my impact is on the immediate community around me and the larger community abroad. Like all of those things only lead to you being better at networking, only lead to you having more opportunities because you're more likable. They only lead to you making more money, which allows you to have a better lifestyle, which allows you to then in turn do more of reinvesting into what is your actual purpose. So like, it's almost like a self-sustaining goal as opposed to anything else that you make as your goal. Like you have to pour everything in it and hope it works out. If you're looking for purpose, you're going to always be finding resources and other ways to improve your standing because you're constantly investing into making yourself greater. So everything around you gets greater. You know what I mean? Like the biggest change I made in myself was just realizing like, yes, this is okay, but I'm better than this. So why not figure out why I'm better? What is the thing that makes me better than this? And I've been on a search for that for a while, and I'm finally like kind of feeling like I'm at home. You know what I mean? But it took years and years of like starting at that first spot of like, okay, I know I'm not this, so whatever. You know what I mean? And then from there, you just got to run with it. But I think if people are not chasing like the tangible shit, like the money or the cars or the fame, or I want to have this placement, and they're really chasing like their purpose, whatever those tangible things that their heart desires, those things are going to be fulfilled because they're doing the things for the right ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's though. What you were saying, that's the one thing I will overthink about. Like, I'm better than this. What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be here? So that's exactly what I would be thinking.
That's real though.
What's going on, y'all? This is Phace, 1/3 of Podnas. Make sure y'all come to YouTube every Wednesday and check out our new episode of the Podnas podcast. Also, check us out online for our new apparel dropping every week. That'll be at teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Once again, that's teespring.com/stores/Podnas, Podnas-closet, CLOSET-1. What's going on, y'all? This is Phace, 1/3 of Podnas. Make sure y'all come to YouTube every Wednesday and check out our new episode of the Podnas podcast. Also, check us out online for our new apparel dropping every week. That'll be at teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1. Once again, that's teespring.com/stores/Podnas, Podnas-closet, CLOSET-1. We get at you.
Just updated on the store, we have mugs, hoodies, shirts, bags, kids' clothes, and face masks. Show you are down with the Pod Squad. Rep the Podnas by going to teespring.com/stores/Podnas-closet-1 to get all of our newest merch. And as always, follow our entire movement at thepodnas.com.
Welcome to the Podnas with Phace, Pat, and Tiz.